Blimey. Okay. Does this video even need an introduction? I think we might as well just get straight into the review for Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 2, Spyfall Part 2. Let's fucking do it now.
Well. We are back like 5 days later because I'm recording this on the Monday. Now, before we get into it, I realized I didn't put my rating down for episode 1 in the video. I did it on Twitter, but I didn't do it on for the video. I gave it a 9.2 episode 1. So stay tuned to the end to get my rating for episode 2. Now then, I don't even know where to start with an episode like this. My overall thoughts, I very much enjoyed it. Let's all just say that. I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. Very, very interesting as well. Especially that ending. And I don't know if I can judge around that ending. Can I just go straight into it? You know what, we're gonna do what we did last time. We're gonna work our way backwards again. Bloody hell. That ending. 2 continuous episodes with 2 jaw-dropping endings. Like, when that ending happened, my jaw dropped. I was like, what? I was speechless. I couldn't say a word. Like, I had goosebumps, chills were running down my spine. I'm like, oh my god, where is this going? When the whole thing throughout the episode was the Master telling Doctor about Gallifrey, I'm like, okay, where's this going? Okay, we might see Gallifrey again. I did not expect it to be in this episode at the end. What? That was just so insane to me to see that, to hear that. I'm like, okay, what? And then when the Doctor literally crashed through the time vortex. By the way, the visuals in that scene, beautiful. That you get to see the TARDIS literally destroy through the time vortex to get into the bubble universe where Gallifrey is located. And oh my god, some people got confused about that. I'm like, they literally showed you what the TARDIS did. It crashed through the time vortex to get into that universe, and it was just so cool. And then when the Doctor sees the destruction, that is the moment where I'm like, this is the Doctor. Full on, this is the Doctor now. This is it. The Master has properly brought out the Doctor in Jodie Whittaker, which is very good. And I'm very, very excited to see where this storyline is going. A story arc, Chibnall. A story arc. You've finally done it, you bastard. Oh my god. I can't believe it. This is what we've been wanting since Series 11. Okay, we've been wanting this in Series 11. You didn't give us this. It's like Chibnall said he wanted to get away from the lore of Doctor Who, but now Series 12 he's giving us everything. Out of nowhere he is just giving us everything, and I'm like, what? There's just so much to process in these first 2 episodes. I'm like, what? It's gonna be a good breath of fresh air next week, hopefully, because there's just so much to take in. And of course, the big reveal, the timeless child. Oh yes, that was mentioned last season, and my one big hope for this season was the timeless child, and it's here. So the Time Lords was based on a lie of their existence surrounding the timeless child. What could that mean? What is the timeless child? Who is it? What is it? I am so intrigued in this storyline already, and it's only 2 episodes in, and that just shows that this is what we've been missing this era, and I'm so excited. I wasn't interested in Series 11 because there was nothing to go off from, but with this, Oh yes, this is where it's at for me. I am so excited. But let's talk about characters for a moment, of course, like we always do. The Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, fantastic in this episode. Really brilliant. Really brilliant. There are a few issues that I do have. Some of the comedic lines did not hit with me. It was, although it was a bit too comedic at sometimes, a bit forced, I felt. That's just my general opinion. But other than that, when it got like properly going, I'm like, okay, now it's getting more and more serious with this Doctor, and I was like, okay, I'm really liking it now. And a performance at the end, oh, brilliant acting. And when Jodie Whittaker was telling, well, the Doctor was telling, her gang, about who she is, with telling them about Gallifrey. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. It gave me flashbacks to the RTD era, and especially when Yaz said, "Can we go and visit it?" I think Martha is the one who said, "Can we visit it?" in series 3, and then Doctor said like something about like another time. It's like sort of like transparent with those two scenarios, which is exciting, and it was awesome to feel like we're back at the sort of Time War scenario here, because that was like one thing I did not like about Moffat. He brought back Gallifrey for literally no reason. He did nothing with it. He brought it back, gave us a shitty episode with Hellbent, and did nothing with it. He brought it back for the sake of bringing it back. If he brought it back with something actually happened with it, then I would have liked it. But finally, we're getting like a storyline with Gallifrey, and it's back to being in ruins, and it's just it's incredible. So let's talk about Yaz. She was good in this episode. Very big step up from last season. She's doing stuff, and it's exciting. It's exciting to actually get this character more screen time. I'm really starting to warm up to the character now and like her more. She's really good. Ryan, Tosin Cole. He's brilliant. He is. I don't get people's issue with him. I really like the character. Maybe it's because he has dyspraxia, and I have that as well. So it's just, maybe I sort of relate more to that character or something. But it's very exciting. I really like the character. The comedic lines are just top notch. I really like it. Bradley Walsh, Graham, like fantastic again in this episode. Jeez, you can tell you can tell this Bradley Walsh had so much fun with the laser shoes. I was dying. I love that so much. And the opening sequence with Bradley Walsh, the Graham, Ryan, and Yaz were crashing, and then you just you have bloomin' Graham just flying all the way backwards. I just thought that was so funny. I liked. Let's talk about Daniel Barton, Lenny Henry. That's his name. He's very cool in this. I really like Daniel Barton in this. He's so cool. And when he bloody basically killed his mum with the Kasavian, I was like, whoa. And he was just smiling. I'm like, this is awesome. This is so cool. But yeah, he was very cool in it. The Master. Let's talk about the Master again. This is the episode where he properly shines as the Master, and he killed it. Sasha Doran. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I just call him Sasha. Sasha was fantastic. He gave a performance of a lifetime, and I already said he's better than Missy. He's better than Michelle Gomez, and I don't care what people say. I still think she should have been the Rani, but that's just me, I guess. I just really like his betrayal, and I think I like him more because he sort of calls back to the classic stuff as well, with the tissue eliminator. I'm like, oh, and yeah, we got to actually see it in use. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. This is amazing. This is actually fantastic. And it had the same like 80s sound to it as well. I'm like, oh, this is everything I've ever wanted. I loved it. I loved it. Love. It was just so fantastic to see it. I never thought we would ever see it in live action or be used in live action. What? Not live action. Bloody. What do we call it? Modern Who. That's it. I never thought we would see it in Modern Who. And I'm like, oh, bloody amazing. Bloody top notch amazingness. I loved it, and he just gave a good performance as the Master. Like, it was so cool. I love the whole thing where they were basically racing against time. Essentially, the Master was always on the Doctor's tail, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. All of the guest stars were good in it. Ada Inyat Khan. That's the name. Was good. I liked the setting of Paris, 1943. I thought that was a very nice visually. Cinematography in this episode, brilliant again. The visuals are just fantastic. I really like the Kasabian. They were cool. We got to know their names now. Well, we kind of knew the name in the credits of episode 1. I looked back after watching that like multiple times. I was like, they're called the Kasavan, and I didn't know actually how to pronounce their name, but yeah, they were pretty cool. Funny enough, we never got to hear them speak again, which is weird. And fun fact, the voice for the Kasavan is the face of Bo. So that's why I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get to hear him speak again, really. Yeah. This episode also reminded me of The Sound of Drums, when the Doctor, Jack, and Martha had to go on the run. This time it was Yaz, Ryan, and Graham going on the run. I thought I got like very Sound of Drums vibes from it, where they had no choice but to go on the run. I thought it was very cool, very nicely done. But yeah, I want to just go into the ending again here because it is very interesting. They have set up probably one of the most ambitious, one of the most interesting story arcs that we have had in Doctor Who since the RTD era. Like the last good story arc for me was Dr. Donna Series 4, that whole story arc. And now we're getting something very, very intriguing indeed. I just hope it really lives up to the hype. So we got the Timeless Child mentioned. What is the Timeless Child? I had a few theories running in my head. One of them is, could it be the Doctor and Master separated? What I mean by that is, there was a child posed a threat to Gallifrey, and then somehow, someway, the Time Lords know how to do this sort of thing where it separates them, or something like that. And it created the Doctor and the Master. The bad side, which is the Master, the good side, which is the Doctor. Could that be it? Probably a bit of a stretch there. I don't think it's that at all, but it's a quite nice theory to go off of. There's another theory, which would most likely divide the entire fan base into two. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but if they do it the way that it's needed to be done, then I'll be okay with it. And this is introducing incarnations before the first Doctor, William Hartnell. And at first, these are rumors that are said to be happening this season. At first, I'm like, nah, I don't want this. But there is one way that I would like it to go. If they are just doing it to introduce, the Doctor has been 13 female incarnations way before Jodie Whittaker, way before William Hartnell, If they're just doing it for that, to prove a point, I'd be like, nope, I'm done with this show. But if they're doing it, saying that there was only one incarnation, or like there were multiples, but they were like mixed bag of male female, I would be fine with that. Because the Doctor before has mentioned that he was a girl and he was a boy. He mentioned that, and we saw in Listen that was a boy, and the Doctor's mentioned that he was like a girl and a boy before the first Doctor. So it does make sense in a way. So in the visions, we could have seen that girl was the Doctor, and that's to do with the Timeless Child, and something happened. Maybe they are going to actually tell us how did the Time Lords gain their regenerated abilities. Maybe they, I don't know, suck the life force out of children. That sounds dark as hell, but that could be awesome to see. Maybe they regenerate like their, because children don't they like heal faster or something? Is that something? Do they heal faster? Do Time Lord children heal faster? I think that's a thing. But do like children heal faster? I think that's a thing. So if they took their life force out and essentially just put it into the Time Lords, taking like the children life forces, and then boom, that happens, and then maybe that's how they gain their regenerated abilities. That would be quite dark to see, and I think that would be quite something. Even the Master would hate something like that. Really, that would make him commit genocide essentially on his own planet. So yeah, that's pretty damn dark. That would be quite cool to see, though, I will say. And what I do actually hope for when the Doctor finds out, if the Doctor finds out that she would actually agree with the Master, I would like that. And then the companions like, what are you doing? Why are you agreeing with this? And it'd be like massive conflict. I would actually really like that. I think that would make for a great scene. If the Master and the Doctor actually agree with each other, like, yo, yeah, I agree with what you did, and then yeah, that would be interesting. But they did do a thing. They reintroduced the Doctor memory wiping. I think that's what the Time Lords did to the Doctor and the Master, to hide the memories away. I think that's what they did. That would explain why they've forgotten about this timeless child. But yeah, it's very interesting stuff, really. This could just be a video in itself, just me talking about the timeless child. But yeah, this episode was just absolutely incredible. I have not enjoyed Doctor Who this much in a very, very, very long time. It's been years since I've come away from 2 continuous episodes and go, wow, like properly speechless. Just, what? I did not expect any of that. And yeah, pretty much my overall thoughts on this episode is wow. Just wow. Like, there's just something about this opener that it is the best opener that we've seen since Series 6, The Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon. It really is. And I am just so happy that Doctor Who's gotten me back into this mood of excitement. How it should always be. It should always be this. And I'm very excited to see where we go next with this story arc. And I hope it lives up to it and nothing like Series 9 with a hybrid or anything like that, you know. I want it to be something properly good, and it's just feeling like that is leading us into that direction, and I can't wait to see what it is. And yeah, so next week we have to deal with James Buckley's horrible green wig. But yes, next week seems like it's going to be a breath of fresh air with Orphan 55. So we'll be back probably next week with that episode review. Very, very exciting stuff indeed. Let me know in the comments below what you thought on this episode. I overall gave this episode a 9.4 out of 10. So yes, I preferred it to part 1. That may be controversial. I think people prefer part 1 over to part 2, but I preferred part 2 over to part 1. And I'm very, very excited to see what happens next. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and drop some likes to the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.